this guy.
Don't you go getting any bright ideas, love.
As much as I hate to admit it, I've never felt like this in my whole life. Believe it or not, I don't want to fight this guy.
So they think your gear is gonna save you as a top occultist? Well, think again.
What's happening today? I'm in the kitchen, we trapping today. Who I started today? I'm at your shop, she breaking today. Make a magic today. I see it up and I laugh in his face. Yeah, bust down patty. She full with me cause I lavish today. Dip off in traffic, I'm going like 80. I took a pick and it's in I'm lazy. Switching my cars like my house, yeah, I'm changing.
MassBlade, if you're listening to this.
The game has changed.
MassBlade. If MassBlade's not in here, someone tell him in game that I will make it my life's journey to hunt him down.
Alright, what is going on, guys? It's your boy MassBlade here. Okay, now I know this video is a little bit overdue. Okay, now bear with me. Alright, guys, don't panic. Okay, relax. Okay, I know. Alright, I was supposed to make this like a week ago. Okay, but yeah, it kind of dragged on. I was like doing other shit, and I was also working and stuff. But yeah, man, I was trying to like find the time in order to make this occultist guide, but we're finally here. Okay, so happy days. All right, so here we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna get straight into it. Okay, so I'm gonna break it down in categories, like I did with the Holy Lancer guide. Kind of the same shit, but instead, for this class, I'm gonna do PVE builds and PvP builds, and I'm gonna include the 3-star special skills as well. So you guys will be able to look forward to that as well. So I will show you guys all the talents as well for PVE and PvP. And I will show you guys rotations as well, so you guys will definitely get to see that too, because I do know Occultist is a bit of a complex class. It is the hardest class to play in the game, so it does deserve its own guide. In my opinion, I think that a detailed guide is in order for this class. I do think it's very needed, actually, because there are a lot of bad Occultists out there. I'm gonna keep it honest, guys. Okay, really, I'm just gonna throw it out there. All right, I'm gonna be very honest and say yes, there are a lot of bad occultists. Okay, so it is what it is. But you know, I don't really blame people, because this class isn't really the best class to just pick up and play. You know, if you're new to the game, a better class would be definitely like something like Paladin or Spirit Shaper. You know. In terms of like picking up a class to just play, you know, because Occultist does take a bit of learning. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, especially in PvP, it does take quite a bit of learning. Okay, not to mention that Occultist is also the buggiest class in the game. I will also go over that as well as to why this class is the buggiest class in the game, because it is very annoying. It still hasn't been fixed, even on C server. These bugs still have not been fixed. I thought maybe it was a ping issue, but it's really not, because now I'm on EU and I'm still getting the same problems. So it's definitely not a ping issue. It's just the class in general. It's just pretty bugged. Dude, there's so many things that just are really annoying about Occultist, but I'll get into that later. Okay, so with the introduction to the class over, let's begin with PvE. Okay, now guys, for your PvE build, okay, for damage, now it should look something like this. Okay, now obviously there are alternatives. Okay, like for example, you can use the 3-star Dark Angel instead of the Circle. It's entirely up to you. Okay, you can use this. The good thing about the 1-star is that it's spammable. You know, it's also cheap to use as well, so you can use this. Now, for the 2-star silence skill, personally, I don't think this is worth, because it costs too much ultimates, and it's not worth the damage you're using the ultimate charge for. So, for example, this costs 100 special skills to use, okay, 100 ultimate charge to use, but it doesn't do as much damage as you would think. It's more of a PvP skill instead of a PvE skill. Now instead you want to use this because it's cheaper and it does pretty good damage, and it's also AoE as well. So that is why you want to use the 1-star instead of the 2-star. Just in case if there's any confusion. But anyway, so obviously you want to use the 2-star circle, no question, because the 3 stars are not out yet. But even with the 3 stars out, this is still pretty good to use. But anyway, so for the skills, now honestly, like I said, you can use alternatives as well. So for example, you can also replace the light buff with the totem if another occultist is in your same team and they are using the light buff, because obviously you can't have 2 light buffs, you know, you have to wait for the resistance cooldown to expire and then you can use the light buff again. But if there's like another occultist that already has it, then obviously you can't use it, so that's gonna suck, you know. So obviously what you want to do, if there's 2 occultists in the party, you want to have 1 occultist to use totem. So you can like message them saying, hey, I'm going to use totem in my rotation, okay? You can use the light buff instead, and then I'll use the totem. So yeah, so you only need 1. You only need 1 buff for this. So either totem or light buff, okay, for 1 slot. So all the rest, you want to have the AoE, the orbs, the life drain ability, the big orb, and soul harvest, obviously. Now, that's about it for your damage skills. Now the thing is, you do not want to use both of them, okay? Like even if you're by yourself, you don't want to use both, because the DPS output, you definitely want to have as much damage as possible. So you want to have as much attack skills as you possibly can. And with the light buff, you want to have it like this, because the light buff makes you attack faster as well. So all your channeling skills, they come out a lot quicker. So it's really good to have this in your rotation. So the light buff is an absolute must. It also does a lot of damage too. So yeah, so you definitely want to get this, because the attack power is actually insane. So keep that in mind. It also does 20% extra damage to monsters as well. So it's really good. Okay, so anyway, now for talents. Now obviously you want to have this one, okay, because it's the highest scaling against monsters. Now this is also good, but we do not need healing, okay? We want to go for as much damage as possible, so this is the obvious choice. Now this is more of a PvP talent. You do not want to use this, okay? Now you want to get the one that scales with monsters, okay? Now for the second one, these are defense trees, so you do not want to use these, okay? We are going for damage, the highest damage possible, so obviously you want to take this off. Okay, now for this one, now you can use the crit, but that's only if your build is lacking crit. Okay, so that's the only reason you would go for this, okay? If you have enough crit, then obviously you go for the Soul Harvest Detonation. Okay, now this one is obviously a more of a PvP type of skill. You don't have to worry about reses or anything. Like this is more of a PvP skill, okay? Obviously, like that's just how it is, okay? So you want to obviously have this, okay? So with this one, you want to boost your overall dark element damage, okay? Now you can use this as well, but honestly, I believe that this scales more, because with the 3-star Dark Angel coming out, okay, that is where this talent right here shines a lot brighter than this one. Now the thing is, the circle is good, okay? It's a pretty good alternative ultimate to use, but in terms of like overall damage, this does more, because this scales with all of your skills, okay? Everything. This only scales with the circle. It only scales with this, and it scales with this, okay? Now, this is not AoE, okay? Only the circle is. So, in terms of AoE damage, it's only gonna buff, like, the circle for, like, your overall, like, damage for everything. But, yeah, you definitely want to go for this. This is really, really good. And you want to max it as well, as high as possible. So that's why you want to go for that, okay? Just in case if, like, you guys are wondering. And obviously you don't go for this because this is more healing, okay? You don't want to go for this. So yeah. Now in terms of like your rotation, it should look something like this. By the way, it's also really good to like use your big orb when you're at a little bit of a distance. So from like here, you can do this and then explode it into orbs and then into life drain or whatever it is. It doesn't really matter what order you do it in, okay? As long as like you use the orb at like a little bit of a distance to get that travel damage, if you know what I mean, and then you explode it when it's like around here, you know, when it's like a little bit behind them, so then you get that extra travel damage, if you know what I mean. Okay, now so that's pretty much it, and then you just keep throwing out skills. It's not really that hard for PvE. Now for PvP, it's a bit different. Your rotation definitely has to be on point for PvP, but that's a completely different thing. Okay, so that is what your dark damage PvE build should look like. Okay, like it's pretty straightforward. You know, it's not too hard. And then, yeah, when you get your light circle, you just activate it. You know, not too hard. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Okay, now for the healing version. Now, this, obviously, you're gonna need the light angel for this. Okay, now for the healing version. Now, this is the sacred stance, okay? Now, for sacred stance, I don't really use this a lot, okay? But, yeah, for sacred... Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong, thing, sorry. That's my bad. Hold on, this is, okay. Alright, so for this... you definitely want to have Nirvana Dome. This is out of the question. Okay, you have to have this. Like, if you do not have this skill on, you are actually trolling. Now, obviously, you want to have as much like healing skills as possible. Now, you could also go for the box as well, just to like shield a bit more. But if you want to go for a bit of damage, oh, you want to have the circle as well. The circle is also a must. To give that extra damage reduction to your teammates. This is also really good for support. Okay, now if you want to go full healing build, this is what it should look like. You can also use the Totem because the Totem boosts his defensive power as well, but honestly, like I said, the light buff is way too good. Okay, dude, you can't take this off. Okay, so anyway, this is what your healing build should look like. Now, obviously, you don't want to go for damage. You want to go for healing multiplier. But I think you can take this down a little bit. Now, again, you don't want to go for defense. Unless it's really bad. But, yeah. Mana recovery, don't really have to worry about that. Now, this is also defense as well, but mana recovery, I guess you can use this in some situations. So, I mean, you can put 1 point into this if you want. But for this, okay, now this is where everything matters. Okay, now guys, ultimate acquisition speed is pretty good, but there are alternatives, okay? Now, this is a damage reduction. Cycle of Reincarnation State. Okay, now guys, for the 4th talent, okay? Now, honestly, Cycle of Reincarnation, like, it's pretty good if you want to be, like, tanky for PvP. Now, in terms of PvE, you do not really need this, but it's good to like heal yourself just in case if you're in trouble. But the thing is, you're not the tank, you know, so I wouldn't really use this. Like in terms of overall healing, this is way better. So you definitely want to max this out. In terms of getting the light angel, because the light angel, dude, trust me, it's really good. I will show some video clips of like the angel stances later on in the video, because obviously it's not out on global server yet, so I will show it on C server and what it looks like, so you guys can like understand, you know, what you're getting yourself into. Now, ultimate acquisition speed is really good because you want to get the Light Angel as quick as you can. The Light Angel is super good, so definitely go for ultimate acquisition speed. Now, like I said, the rest points, you want to max out your healing. But if like you're struggling and you're not really tanky, then you can go for like extra tank options, you know. But yeah, it's entirely up to you. But honestly, I would like put 1 point in here, you know. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you can max out mana recovery as well, just in case. You know, it could look something like this, you know. Like, honestly, it's not really that serious, but yeah, mana is a pretty core thing, so you definitely want to have some mana there. So yeah, I think that is the optimal build right there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But obviously, when you get the Light Angel, you want to replace the circle with the Light Angel, and then that will be like your optimal healing build for PvE anyway. Okay, so anyway, that's pretty much it. But like I said, you can also use the box as well. Just in case if you want to protect the tank a bit more, you can also put the tank in the light buff, you know, and make him tank a lot longer. But there's not really a need for this, you know, but it's entirely up to you. I prefer the circle. The damage reduction is way too good, you know, and it's pretty easy because the tank is free to like move around and do whatever he needs to do. You know, you just put it on top of him and then that's it. But anyway, yeah, the thing about the box is that they can't do anything else while they're inside of the box. They can't use any skills or move around or do anything. So it's a bit risky, you know? So that's why I wouldn't use the box. Like, this is the optimal build right here. So that's PvE out of the way. So that's done. Moving on to PvP. Okay, now guys, for PvP. Okay, now this is where things get a little bit tricky because PvP, I have seen people come up with some unique builds. I really have. Now, there are 3 different ways you can play Occultist in PvP. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. I have seen people be pretty creative, okay? Especially on C server, I have seen some pretty interesting builds. Okay, I really have. Now, let's start off with 1v1, okay? I feel like this is the easiest way to do it. Let's just start off with 1v1, then we'll work our way up to 3v3 and then mass PvP, and so on and so forth, and 5v5 or whatever. Okay, now for 1v1, okay? Now, this is the most optimal setup, okay? Now, obviously, you wanna change it around. You wanna have a magic defense version and a physical defense version, okay? This is the best build, okay? Literally, dude. Now, you can do alternatives, okay? Now, like I said, I have seen some pretty creative ones. Now, here's like another build you can go for. So, for example, if you're not the type to like rely on crits and you feel like this is a bit inconsistent for you, you can swap this out and use the Soul Harvest one if you're really good at like throwing on stacks on your target. Now, here's the reason why I do not use this, okay? It's because this only procs if you actually get Dark Matter stacks on your target. That's the only way this procs. So, here's a scenario. If like you're doing a 1v1 arena game, okay? And then your opponent is actually smart and they know they have a lot of stacks on them. So what they're going to do is they're going to run away, wait for the stacks to expire, and then come back. You know, like literally there's people that know this and then they run away because they don't want to take the damage. So they avoid that. So that's another reason why I do not use this, okay? Another reason is because most of the time you're going to be running around playing passively, healing yourself with auto attacks anyway. That's also another reason. And when you're doing this, you're not applying dark stacks to your target. Now, you can stay next to your target and keep throwing dark orbs on them to like get your stacks up in order to go for the big soul harvest and just destroy their HP. Now, you can do this, but like I said, if you do this and you use this talent, you're gonna have to rely on stacks. And that's where I don't wanna like, you know, like change up my whole playstyle based on one talent. That's why I don't want to do this. When you go for crit, this helps your crit chance for all of your skills instead of just Soul Harvest, you know? So it boosts the damage of everything. That's why. And another reason why I do not go for this as well is because you can also waste this talent if your opponent anti-CCs out of your Soul Harvest and then you miss all of the attacks, if you know what I mean. It happens. Like, even for a pro like me, right? There's sometimes I mistime the enemy's anti-CC and then I forget, oh yeah, they have this backup, you know? Especially if you're fighting Occultist. Occultist is pretty tricky because their Totem cooldown goes down the moment they summon the Totem. Now, I'm going to show you guys an example of what I'm talking about. Okay, now Occultist, their CC get up is pretty interesting. Now, let me just show you what I'm talking about. So, for example, okay, let me just show you what I mean. Okay, now the Totem, the cooldown says 24.6 seconds, okay? Pretty much 25 seconds if you reduce the haste. Okay, now keep that in mind, right? 25 seconds, okay? Let's just mark it to 25 seconds. If I'm to use the Totem right now, okay? You see the gold circle? While this is going down, and then there's like a time limit before I have to return to the Totem while that's up, okay? While this gold circle is going down, the actual cooldown of the skill itself is also going down. So let me show you guys an example, okay? Wait for the gold circle to go at the bottom, okay? You're gonna see what I'm talking about. Now this is like half of the cooldown, okay? Now if I'm to return to the Totem now, watch this. It's back up instantly, and then I can return again. You see what I mean? You have to time everything. Everything is timed. Okay, you have to be very clever with this class. That's also a hidden gem with this class that some people do not know. They just think that, oh, once the Occultist returns to their Totem, they won't have it back for like another good amount of time, you know, for like half a minute or so. Okay, that's what people assume because they've never played the class. But if you understand every class in the game like I have, okay, I've literally understood every class in the game. Okay, I know their cooldowns. Okay, I know what skills they use in like balanced PvP builds and everything. I'm literally a genius when it comes to this shit. Okay, you can't make this shit up. Okay, anyway, all right. So you guys like understand what I'm talking about with like knowing the timings of like someone getting out of a CC, you know, and like, you know, returning to a safe spot. So now let me show you what happens when I use it instantly. Now you can see the cooldown is there now because I haven't given it time to go down. Okay, so obviously it's gonna be at its original cooldown state. But yeah, you get what I mean. Okay, so that's another reason why I do not use this. It's just inconsistent. That's why I don't use it. Okay, Nash, I know you're watching. Okay, so pay attention. All right. Anyway, so now that's the reason I go for crit. Okay. Also, the damage reduction, dudes, you cannot go wrong with this. Occultist is a squishy class, so you definitely need as much tanky capability as possible. Okay, when it comes to like defense, you definitely need this because, dude, without this, Occultist dies like a fly. Dude, it's like the squishiest class in the game. It is so weak. Okay, like, dude, you can breathe on them in one combo, they just die. Okay, but that's where this damage reduction comes into clutch. Okay, now obviously this, you want to just put 1 point. This is for PvE, so you don't want to put this. And this is only good for like silence and CC, like immobilization abilities, but you don't really need this for the rotation I'm about to show you. Okay, you really don't need this. Okay, it's a waste of a talent. Just get this for like the extra 2% additional spell damage and healing multiplier. Okay, but yeah, so crit, that's why I go for that instead. Now this is only good for like 3v3 or 5v5. That's where Soul Imprisonment comes into clutch. Now if you max this, right, now the thing is, it's not entirely bad, but the reason why I don't use it is because it's 20% chance. You don't want to base a whole talent around 20%. this is just no. Like you do not want to do this. You want to have as much performance in the game as you possibly can. So you want to have as much damage as you possibly can while you're fighting. Time Traveler, I think, is the best option. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. But another thing as well. Now here we go with the 4th talent. Now for the 4th talent, honestly, I think this one is OP. Okay, I think this one is very overpowered. Now I'm gonna explain to you why. Okay, now remember the circle of the 2-star ability. Okay, now remember this buffs this and it buffs this as well. Now with the 2-star, okay, the 2-star is massive. Like, dude, it covers your whole body and you can hit everyone with this circle. So if you max out the damage of this, dude, trust me, you are gonna do a shit ton of damage. Okay, and no one wants to step inside of the circle because they know they're gonna get fucked up. So people back the fuck up. So when you max out the damage of this, you can also just keep it around you as well. It's active. It's just a passive circle that just goes around you, and literally that just stays there. So then you can do other skills while the circle is also out. So they're just taking a shit ton of damage from the circle and your skills in general. Like, dude, it's too good. Okay, so you definitely want to do this. Okay, now when it comes to the 4th talent, now guys, I want you to pay attention to this because, dudes, I'm telling you, Unity of All Spirits is such an overpowered ability, dude. This ultimate skill is so fucking good. So you want to max this out as much as you can. Okay, like, honestly, you cannot go wrong with this. Also, the lifesteal ability in 1v1 is super good. Okay, now I'm going to explain to you why in the rotation. Okay, but that will come afterwards. Now, dude, you cannot go wrong with this. You just can't. Like, this is also nice, but remember, this heals you as well. So if you buff the damage, it also buffs the healing if you do more damage with the skill. Now the thing is, you also can do a HP recovery version of this. Now if you're going for more of a tanky build, you can swap this to this as well. But you can also use a healer build with this, but I'll get into that later. Okay, now Unity of All Spirits and Soul Summoning. Like, guys, like, what are we talking about? Okay, this is like an absolute must of a skill. Okay, you have to have both of these skills on. So obviously you want to go for this. Like, the scaling is really strong. Trust me, dude, you can just burst someone down once you put that circle on. And the thing is, they don't know that you have this talent on. Most of the time people will run this, okay, but they won't know this, you know. So when you summon that circle, it also gives you like a window to be more safe as well, because people try to like burst Occultist down as much as they can, but if they see you have the circle, it gives you room to breathe, because people usually tend to run away, you know. And it also gives you your cooldowns back when they run away. So it's like a bit of a mind game, you know. You have to like stay in the fight a bit longer, so you can use this as a defensive option as well, which is super cool. Okay, but if you really want it as a defensive option, like I said, you can also go for this. Okay, it's really good, but obviously you want to go for as much damage to like burst them down as quick as possible. So having the damage one is really good. But yeah, it fits so well into the rotation, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, now for PvP, okay, now obviously you want to summon your totem real quick, you know, and then literally, yeah, I forgot to mention, yeah, these ultimate skills right here, this is an absolute must. If you use anything else, okay, other than Nirvana and the circle, you are absolutely trolling. Okay, like, stop. Like, what are you doing? Now the thing is, you can use the snake as well, but dude, do not use this. It's not good. This is also dodgeable as well, so do not use the silence. It's not worth the points. Trust me. Okay, I know what I'm talking about. Believe me, it's not consistent. Okay, now anyway. Now, so you have your totem over there, okay? Now, the first thing you want to do for an engage, this is like what you want to do in like a 1v1 scenario. Now, there's options to this. You can either do this for like, if you want to catch them off by surprise, okay? Let me just show you guys what I'm talking about, okay? So like for an engage, you can do this. You can like go bang into dark box, into suction, you know, or you can like do something a little bit different. It's entirely up to you. Okay. But what you want to do is you want to waste the person's anti-CC as quick as you can. So that's like an option you can do, but it's risky because if you do this, you lose your anti-CC. So what you can do is like run around for a bit, you know, just like stall a bit and buy a bit of time before the circle reaches halfway with that trick that I showed you guys before. You can also do this. Okay, but let me just show you the standard combo. So like I said before, you can either do this combo into dark box, into suction, you know, but it's a bit more risky, like I said, if they don't anti-CC out of it. Or you can also use the circle with the standard combo that I'm about to show you right now. So with the standard combo, what you want to do, okay, you want to engage with this first into that, because if you do this, it cannot be interrupted. Okay, that's your first combo. Circle into lifesteal. This is what you want to do. Okay, that is like your number one, your bread and butter. Okay, this is so good. All right, now you definitely want to do that first, and then for your next combo, you want to do swap into soul harvest. Now, depending on what you have, for example, divinities, okay? Divinities are super important because Plum Heart also buffs the damage when you hit them from behind. And as you guys know, if you swap someone while you're facing them like this, head on, they will go behind you. And then when you use Soul Harvest, it will just, like, you swap them, they'll be behind me. And then you just use Soul Harvest right on their back, like this. So it's just an easy combo. Okay, but this is more of open world PvP, you know, instead of like balanced arena. Because let me tell you guys right now, balanced arena, you definitely want to have Imperial Wings and you want to have Life Crystal. Okay, this is too good. Like you literally can't get rid of this. Like this is like a number one like thing to have on, you know. This is like a must. Okay, because you can like run around and also keep healing with your auto attack as well, so you definitely want to do this. But that's what you want to have for divinities. So you have it in the first 2 slots to get the passives, and then once you do that, like I said, so your combo should look like this. It should look like, hold on, so your engage will be this with that once your totem's out. Okay, and then what you want to do is wait for them to like be susceptible to like CCs. So you wait for them to be vulnerable, and then you use dark box. Okay, and then what they're gonna do is they're gonna anti-CC out of the dark box, and then once you do that, you want to like wait a bit longer. Okay, and then you go for the swap into Soul Harvest. So you definitely want to do that. But yeah, there's like other options as well, like depending on how you play. There's like other skills you can use in order to like stall for time, you know. So you can also use light box as well, and then stall for a bit of time, and then the moment you come out, circle into suction, you know, lifesteal. So like there's like alternatives to this, you know. But yeah, I have like a PvP video you guys can see, so you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's like one thing you can do. And then obviously for the ultimates, you can also mix that in as well. So you can do this. into this, okay, and even if they run away from that lifesteal, okay, it will still hit them. And then obviously you want to do this into swap into this, because they will come into the circle anyway, you know, and take all of these hits. And then you can also dart box them to keep them inside of the circle, so then you can like hit them all the time, you know. Like, so many good things with Occultist. Like, you have so many options. Okay, now I'm gonna go over like alternative 1v1 builds you can do. So now what you can do, now this is where things get a little bit complicated, because I actually have seen people use the healing stance in 1v1 before. I have seen this and I've seen it work, but the problem is that you're not gonna have enough damage to actually kill someone with this, so it's a bit of a problem. So what they will do is they will just try and time you out, because obviously with the healing build you're not gonna have a lot of damage. But if just in case, if like you're the type that wants to heal a lot, okay, you can also switch to the healing faction and use some other skills. But yeah, let me show you the alternative to the 1v1 build. You could also use the light buff as well. Okay, so what you do with this, same shit like before, but instead you just don't have the box. So it's a bit of a problem, because you can't really hit people with the soul harvest if you use the light buff, because most of the time they're just going to anti-CC out of the CC anyway, and then just you know, then they'll just dodge your soul harvest. So you don't want to use the light buff. And also you don't have a shield as well, and that's another issue. But the only thing you have is Nirvana, you know. Nirvana is the only thing you have. But yeah, so you do the same thing, but instead you start with light buff, okay, then circle into that, into swap into that, okay. That's like the standard combo. But yeah, that's like an alternative you can do with light buff. But anyway, so moving on to the healing version. Now with this, you can also use like a lot of damage reduction. Mana recovery is not an issue when it comes to PvP. So now you can go for either magic defense power or physical. I go for physical because that's more of the problem, but sword mages also hit pretty hard. So yeah, so you would definitely put a lot of points into physical, and then for like the last one, you know, you would you can either go for ultimate acquisition speeds, or you can go for cycle of reincarnation to like buff your HP. I think this is really good for PvP wise in 1v1. I definitely go for this to get the HP healing. I think this is really good. But ultimate acquisition speed is also a good alternative as well to get your 2-star circle back up. So you can do this, okay? But I think this one is the best one for me. So you want to go for that. Physical damage reduction, and then obviously you would swap it like last time. You know, you would do the same shit. So instead of this, well, actually, yeah, you can just use that, but yeah, you'll just have this on like 9 points, you know. But if it's like the magic defense version, you would do this. You will put the magic one along with the magic one here, because this one scales higher, so that's why you want to stack this one to level 20 and then put this one level 9. Okay, so that's why. But yeah, that's what you will do. And then for the physical one, you just swap it to physical, you know, and then just do this. That's what you'll do. And then for your skills, now for this part, it is pretty interesting. Now you definitely want to keep the same shit here, but instead you can actually use the light buff, or you can use the AoE, or you can use the orbs. Like, there's a lot of options. You can even use this, but I wouldn't recommend using this because it's harder to hit your opponent when you use the dark orb. So same with the AoE one, you do not want to use this either. You could use this for like a shield and an extra CC, but then you won't have as much damage. So the best option, I would say, is to use the orbs. This is like the best build I can tell you, okay? And obviously you definitely want to keep Nirvana and the circle. That's like the best healing version of this that you can use. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now next we have 3v3/5v5 build. Now this is what it should look like. This is the most optimal way to do it. Now the thing is, you could swap the first talent out and then leave that level 1 and then put on some more damage reduction if you want, but you definitely want to go as much damage potential as you possibly can. So I go full crit and then I go full unity of spirits and soul summoning for the maximized damage. But yeah, that's like the best version I could come up with, because when it comes to this, you definitely want to have the light buff to support your teammates as well. So that's why you don't really need the box, but you can swap. Well, actually, no, you can't. Like, there's nothing you can get rid of. Like, literally, you can't really use the box. But if you feel like you're gonna be targeted a lot, okay, if you feel like you're the primary target, you can swap out the light and put the box for the light box. Okay, for this, you can put the light box, but that's only if you know you're going to be targeted and you're low gear score. Okay, that's like an alternative if you want to do this, but you definitely want to have the light buff. Okay, like this is an absolute must. Okay, so this is like the best build you can do for 3v3 and 5v5. Now the thing is that you can also use the dart box as well if like you're targeting like someone on their team, like the Spirit Shaper or Occultist, to like burst them down really quickly, you know, so you can like CC the hell out of them. So that's where the dart box comes into clutch as well. But yeah, this is the most optimal setup right here. This is the best build in my opinion. Now the thing is, you can use the soul harvest, but you do not have 2 CCs. But you can like use your soul harvest if you know the person has a lot of stacks, and then just burst down their shaper, you know. So that's where soul harvest also is pretty good. But I like to play more on the safe side, you know, just in case if I need to like nirvana my teammates, you know, or if I need to heal my teammate or do like something else, you know, or focus someone else or switch my attention to something else. Then that's where I would just have the crit instead of focusing on stacks, you know. That's where I will use the crit. But the crit comes in so handy, dude. It just does so much damage when you have a lot of crit, you know. So that's why I really love the crit chance talent. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like it's not really rocket science. Now the thing is, if you want to go for a really big aggression build, you could also use this. Like if you want to like focus one person, you can replace the 2-star circle, okay, with this. If you like really want to just like go full aggressive, okay. But the reason why you want to go for the circle is because it hits everyone. That's why it's really good, and it also heals you as well. That's why this is so good. But it's entirely up to you. You know, you don't have to use the silence or the 2-star. Like you can even use the 1-star if you, I mean, if you really want to. Or for 5v5, you can even use the Dark Angel, but I wouldn't recommend it. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, like there are alternatives depending on your playstyle, what you use. You know, there's ways you can switch it up and stuff. But yeah, until we get like the 3 stars, this is like the most optimal setup in my opinion. But that's pretty much it. Oh, and for the healing version, okay. Now, for the healing version, pretty much the same shit. Okay, but instead, you wanna swap out Soul Harvest, okay, and put the orbs, and you would definitely want to put box, because you're not really like focusing on damage. You want to like have as much survivability as possible. So you want to have totem, circle, box, lifesteal, the light buff in with the orbs. You can even use the AoE as well. You can use the AoE instead of the other one in order to get like the AoE heal, you know. But yeah, it's really up to you. For the ultimates, you want to have Nirvana and you want to have Light Angel, okay? But obviously on global, the Light Angel's not out yet, so you would replace the circle for the Light Angel, okay? That's what you want to do for like the healing setup. If you want to play like full-on support Occultist, okay, that is what you want to do. You remove the circle, the 2-star circle, for the Light Angel. So that's pretty much it for PvP. Divinities. Yeah, so with this, it's not really that hard. Now, you just want to go for the divinities that give you the most stats towards your class. Now, you do not want to go for Mystic Waters because it gives accuracy. You don't really need accuracy, but the good thing about Mystic Waters is that it gives attack power and healing power. That's the good thing about this. So you can use it, but there are better alternatives, okay? Like Sovereign. Sovereign gives critical, okay? Now, you definitely want to try and get Sovereign, like, but this is more for late game, you know? And obviously, Harmony gives evasion. Evasion is really good, so you definitely want to get Harmony. And Destiny as well. It gives healing power and attack power, and it gives crit resistance. Now, for PvP, a good combo to have is crit resistance with Plum Heart and Destiny, because you can have both of them with crit resistance right here. You see? Right here. You know, it's really good. And Destiny also gives attack power and healing power as well. And you want to have Mysterious Mirror because this gives crit. Imperial Wings for the evasion as well. And like I said, Harmony, evasion. Okay? So, with that being said, you definitely want to have Imperial Wings, you know, for the passive, obviously. The passive is really good, okay? So you want to keep on Imperial Wings. Plum Heart is really good for, like, doing the back attack damage. An extra 10%, dude, you can't go wrong, okay? So it's really good to, like, maximize your damage potential. So obviously the whole point of like Dark Occultist is to do as much damage as possible, so you want to maximize your damage as much as you can for PvE. It's even good in PvP as well. That's why I keep on Plum Heart. Now I'm going to explain to you why. Okay, so for example, you know when you swap someone head on, they will go behind you, and like I said, you can just do Soul Harvest right behind them in PvP. So that Soul Harvest will do a shit ton of damage because you're hitting them from behind with the extra 10% from Plum Heart as well. So keep that in mind. Now you can also go for Titan in PvE as well, but I prefer Plum Heart because Titan gives block, and this is a really useless stat for Occultists. Like you do not need block, okay? This is actually kind of useless. I just prefer to have other passive stats. Mystic Waters is okay, but I mean the haste is pretty good, but I just don't want the accuracy. You know, I prefer to have the Plum Heart damage, but you can't really go wrong with haste. Haste is really good, and I think Mystic Waters in late game, if you level this up high enough, the percentage will be really good, so then your cooldowns will be really short, you know? So Mystic Waters actually late game could be better. Okay, I'm just saying. Like it's a bit of a investment. If like you pay enough money into the game and you can actually get a lot of Mystic Waters, then sure, go for it. But this is a very hard divinity to come by. That's why this is very difficult to do. Same with Sovereign. Sovereign is also difficult to obtain, so it's a bit tough. But yeah. But Sovereign gives critical, so this is definitely late game divinities right here. But like for early game, it's the ones I just told you. Titan, Harmony, Plum Heart, Imperial Wings, Mysterious, Mirror, and Destiny. But obviously you don't want to put on Titan because it has block. For Occultist anyway. Obviously block is more for like Blade Master or Paladin, you know? But anyway, that's pretty much it. But like I said, for 1v1, you definitely want to put on Life Crystal. So you want to swap out Plum Heart and then put on Life Crystal, okay? Life Crystal it's too good, trust me. It is actually so good. That's pretty much it. This has been your boy MassBlade here, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I apologize for the delay of releasing this guide, but it's very helpful for a lot of people. I know it definitely will be helpful for a lot of people. So yeah, that's why I figured I'd make a guide for this class, because it is a pretty complex class. But I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you all learned something. But anyway, that's it. I will see you guys next time.
MassBlade.
I am the chosen one. I have been chosen to rule this planet.